So let's suffer through this together, shall we?
Thank you very much, everybody. We're going to have just a quick session with Steve Moore. Everybody knows Steve Moore with the Heritage Foundation, highly respected, one of the most highly respected.
I love the look in his face of defeat. Like, I genuinely think that this whole thing is just men posturing and, like, expressing dominance over other men. Like Tim Cook was in there shaking and shit like a leaf. The only man who didn't walk in there with his head hung low like this was, like, Elon, you know? He was trying to look up. I think he got, like, a hunchback thing going on. But, yeah, look at him, his posture. Utter defeat. And it's fantastic to me to watch this. Like, we all have to suffer because men are having to express dominance over each other. Like, that's effectively what the hell this whole thing is about. You're not going to convince me of anything otherwise.
Economists and people that watch your money and know more about your money and your life than probably anybody I can think of. And I want to thank Steve for being here. I saw this today. They came out. What he puts out gets a lot of coverage, and I saw some of them, and then he had a couple of others. And I'd like to ask Steve maybe to discuss a few of these numbers that were just released. I mean, literally just released. And then we're going over, and we're going to do Purple Heart.
All right, I'm going to stop right here because, as you can see, they're basically saying that for 2023 to 2024, the BLS overestimated Biden jobs by 1.5 million. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do some quick math. Be right back. I just opted to go ahead and grab the data directly from the BLS itself. So I just downloaded this Excel sheet, gave Gemini the data, and this was the prompt that I gave it, and I gave it some examples and told it to tally it. It gave me a nice little graph, and this is what it got for all of the years from 2015 to 25 so far. Then I asked them to do a tally for Trump's first presidency and to see how many jobs he either gained or lost, and as you can see, we have a loss of 2.8 million jobs. Okay. Then you have Biden's presidency, and we have a gain of 16,300,000 jobs, okay? So it seems like a very good recovery, but what if you just want to compare, you want to skip COVID and just look at we'll look at the first 3 years of Trump and the last 3 years of Biden. Let's see what we get. All right, so I had to do this myself. So I decided to tally, we'll skip 2020 and the subsequent recovery, and we'll focus only on the first 3 years of Trump's presidency, which is 2017 through 2019, and we'll focus on the last 3 years of Biden's presidency. And you know what we get? Trump got 6.3 million jobs. Biden got us 9.1 million jobs. Now, quick math. 9.1 minus 1.5 gives us 7.6 million jobs. 7.6 is still more than Trump has ever done. So even with his shitty attempt to try to rewrite history, he still sucks. Anyway, moving on. Back to the shit show.
We have some incredible, brave people that I look forward to, so we're going to do that right after this. Steve, could you say a few words about the various charts?
Thank you, Mr. President. So I called the president because I had some very good news from some new data that we've been able to put together that no one has ever seen before, and I'll just very quickly go through these. So I was telling the president that he did the right thing in calling for a new head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics because this shows that over the last...
Like, he literally cannot even lift his head up. Like, Trump is literally on his way, like, he's currently dying right now, and he can still hold his head up. But look at him, kowtowing and bowing like a bitch.
2 years of the Biden administration, the BLS overestimated job creation by 1.5 million jobs. So that's a gigantic error. And I don't know if she...
Even if it was a gigantic error, which we don't believe, he still made more jobs than Trump. That's excluding COVID and excluding the recovery year. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
That might not have been an error. That's the bad part. If it was an error, it would be one thing. I don't think it's an error. I think they did it purposely.
Whether that, you may well be right, but even if it wasn't purposefully, it's incompetence. Right. Okay. So 1.5 million jobs were estimated. We have access to the some data that no one else does on what has happened month by month with median household income. This is based on unpublished Census Bureau data. It will be released.
Unpublished Census Bureau data. Look at him. Still can't hold his fucking head up, pussy.
Sometime in the next 6 months, but we get an advantage.
They're going to release it in 6 months. So let's understand this. You did all this number crunching with unpublished data, and you can't release that shit today? Yesterday, actually, because this was yesterday. You couldn't release it yesterday? You couldn't release it today? Can't release it in a week? You got to release it in 6 months, which tells me one of two things. Most probable, because this is how they normally work. They say they're going to do some shit, and they lie about it, so it's not coming in 6 fucking months. Or they're going to try to find a way to jerry-rig the numbers to make it make sense. If it's unpublished data that you have access to, that you are able to utilize and crunch data with, you should be able to release it immediately. You shouldn't hide this. This was incompetence, according to you. They did it on purpose, what he said. Ain't that what the fuck he said? So why wouldn't you want to put that shit out on Front Street immediately? Y'all some lying bitches, and I can't stand this shit. Monthly estimates of net... Hold up. Zoom in. Monthly estimates of net change in real median household income. Now, I already went over numbers where it shows that we only gained, what was it, 17,000? Like, 17,000 jobs? Something crazy, something low for the months of, what was it? It was May and June. Let's look at the data. Here it is. The months of May and June. 19,000 jobs. 14,000 jobs. I don't know why they have P for preliminary. What are you going to do? Cook the books again to try to make it better? It's like even when they try to make the numbers work in their favor, they can only do so much because they know that the math, there's only so much math that you can do to try to fuck this shit up. to try to make it something that is not, if you're actually utilizing real data. But I got a feeling they're probably just going to lie. But May and June only gained 19,000 jobs, 14,000 jobs. Yet somehow in May and June, we saw the greatest growth in median household income. The net change of $1,174 in median household income. Bitch, you's a motherfucking lie. Had better job numbers in January, February, and March. But magically, all of a sudden, household income shot all the way the fuck up. God damn it, I hate these fucking lying bitches.
Let's look at it. And so I was telling the president in his first 5 months in office, starting in January through the end of June, the average median household income adjusted for inflation.
Sorry, I had to make an edit, and I needed to calm down. But he said that he adjusted these numbers for inflation. We're still in the year 2025. Why would you need to adjust these numbers for inflation? Inflation for a healthy economy where the Fed is trying to keep it should stay at 2 to 3%. So why are you adjusting these numbers for inflation? And what number did you use to cause it to jump that high? Now, in this unpublished data, is there some doom on the horizon that you don't want to tell us about? Inquiring minds would like to know.
For the average family in America is already up $1,174. That's an incredible number. It just came out.
Now, in order for them to have a median that high, normally they use averages, but they're not using averages, they're using median. Median is usually a better indicator. The question I have is, what data did you delete in order to make these numbers higher? Because you had to have deleted some data in order to make the median number higher. I don't see how the median number could be under $200 and then magically jump so fucking high in the span of a few fucking months when in those months we had our job creation numbers are trash. Absolute trash. That doesn't make any sense. Job creation's in the fucking toilet, but somehow magically we had the biggest jump in median income from May to June. So I need to know what data they deleted, because they deleted data in order to make that median jump that high. And the data that they would have to delete are the people towards the bottom of the income chain. That's the only way to shift that median up.
We're doing well. So the next one compares, we finally have the 2024 data on what happened with real family income in the United States. And so what I did was I compared the record in Donald Trump's first term with the Joe Biden first term. And you can see that, by the way, these dotted lines here, Mr. President. And so what I did was...
what did he say?
So the next one compares, we finally have the 2024 data on what happened with real family income in the United States. And so what I did...
He compared Donald Trump's first term, where he had a net loss of 2 million jobs because of COVID. Biden had a net gain of 16 million jobs? And you expect us to believe this shit? That makes no sense. How can people be losing jobs left and right during COVID, but somehow Hold up, let me...
I compared the record in Donald Trump's first term with the Joe Biden first term. And you can see that, by the way, these dotted lines here, Mr. President, that's COVID. So if it had not been for COVID, these numbers would have been substantial.
Bullshit! Real household income. Hold up, let me look up these terms, 1 second. Real household income, total income of all members of a household adjusted for inflation to reflect purchasing power over time. Now I gotta do some number crunching on what the actual numbers say. Real versus nominal income is the raw dollar amount. Real income is adjusted for inflation. This adjustment is crucial for comparing income levels across different years as it reflects changes in the cost of living. So now the question I have with their fake ass data. What lies did you tell yourself? Are they trying to adjust the real household income change for his first term, all 4 years of his first term, and reevaluating it supposedly for 2025? Is that what they're doing? They're playing games. He's obviously playing games. You do not have a net loss of over 2 million jobs. All of the gains that he had for his first 3 years were completely wiped out because of COVID, because he's a piece of shit who can't fucking govern. He doesn't know shit. He's fucking incompetent as all hell. And they're really sitting up here fucking I cannot stand this shit.
But even taking account of President Trump's last year in 2020, we saw a $6,400 real after inflation gain in income for the average family.
After inflation. Again, they deleted data from the bottom of the economic ladder in order to move that median up, because that's the only way you can move a median, is to get rid of data. Then they took that phony ass number and likely readjusted it to 2025, which makes no fucking sense. But these are the games these bitches play. They play fucking games. And all of this is done to stroke that dumbass man's fucking ego. That's all that this is about. This is literally about making him feel better about the fact that he's fucking incompetent and he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And look at him. Head still bowed. Hands still holding it. Look at him. This is a submissive position for men. This is what's happening.
And that compares with Joe Biden, which was a measly $551. So, Mr. President, you gained 10 times more income for the average family than Joe Biden is because of your policy.
And that's taken into consideration COVID, which a lot of times you don't have to do that, but
we were
very glad you did.
We were at 8,000. Look at that number. So then we looked at which families did the best.
Now, I do have to wonder how much these fucking graphs cost, because them bitches is expensive. This type of shit is expensive, and this is color. I guarantee. I got a feeling that one chart costs more than the median family income.
Data from the Census Bureau that shows by income so the 25th percentile is the lowest.
Let me let him talk.
25th percentile is the highest income. And what I find fascinating about this, Mr. President, is every income group did better. The red is President Trump, the blue is President Biden. Every single income group did better under President Trump. But what's really amazing is look what happened under Biden. The lowest income group lost income under Biden. They were poor 4 years after Biden's presidency. No gain virtually whatsoever from the middle class. And the rich was the only group that did better under Biden, which is
They really want us to believe this shit. 2 million net job loss. Somehow your real household income, if you were in the bottom percentile, went up 10.4% under him. Joe Biden got you 16 million jobs during his presidency. Let's look at the numbers again. 16 million jobs during Joe Biden's presidency. Almost half of which came during the recovery, but he wants you to believe that somehow if you were in the bottom 25th% of this country, that you didn't have a change in your income, despite the fact that you literally got the jobs back that this stupid son of a bitch lost, and more. He lost you 2 million jobs, almost 3 million. Joe Biden gained 16 million jobs, and somehow they genuinely want people to believe that the bottom 25th% had better impact under Trump. And notice the narrative. Despite the fact that we already know that his tax cuts have primarily benefited people at the top while making us, the middle class, the working class, and the lower class, pay for the shit, the loss in revenue. He wants you to believe that somehow he benefited people, the bottom 25th% more than Joe Biden, and that Joe Biden somehow only benefited the rich. I'm mad.
Because Biden keeps saying he was trying to get rid of income inequality. He made income inequality worse, not better. It was President Trump that reduced income inequality.
These numbers just came out, by the way.
And I'm finally.
Because they're lies. They're data that you gotta sit there and massage and bullshit because you're a liar. And he's a liar.
These are the numbers I just showed you in percentage terms. Mr. President, these are the numbers in dollar terms. So even the lowest income, 25th% came to about $4,000 income. That's a lot for a lower income family. $6,400 for the middle class and almost $10,000 for the richest. So
again, they're trying to say during Trump's first term, somehow, despite the fact that he done lost almost 3 million jobs, the people in the bottom percentile, y'all magically got $4,000. Now the question is, are they trying to take the payments that they wanted to vote against, the Republicans wanted to vote against, and the Democrats wanted to put, are they trying to say that that was the change in y'all's income? Because there were a couple payments, and they also extended a tax credit for children. So a couple people got more money back on their taxes as a result of that. So they're trying to say that because of his incompetency, causing you to lose 3 million jobs, that them paying you a couple $1,000s was actually beneficial to you, when all they were really doing was attempting to hold you over during a economic downturn? Seriously. Okay.
You can see every income group get better.
Let's look at this chart. He picked this chart not because he actually understands what the fuck is happening. He's a dumbass. He picked the chart because it's the simplest to understand and the simplest to read. It has one line going up. That's it. That's why he chose the chart. He's a fucking idiot. All new numbers to cover for the fact that I'm incompetent as fuck and we are entering a goddamn recession. Because that's what we're going to enter. Man, I can't wait to see the bullshit they come up with next. God damn it, this is sad.